The slow recovery for the Dodgers pitching staff begins by welcoming back its closer. LeBron James has 3 options in the offseason we'll discuss. And the Galaxy do the right thing by taking care of their most important player. Good morning, James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is June 1st, 2024. Welcome to the Sanctum Sanctorum of LA Sports. Here we spread the gospel, we spread the joy that is Los Angeles athletics. And if you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Honestly, not the welcome home the Dodgers should have gotten. They lose to Colorado 4-1. They pretty much weren't in the game at all. Walker Buehler allows 3 earned runs in 6 innings. The only offense the Dodgers got was on a ground out RBI by Mookie Betts. Guys, you had a day off. Should have been a little bit more refreshed. Meanwhile, today, Colorado's in town to play the Dodgers again at 7. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 5-2 with a 3.51 ERA. Cal Quantrill is 4-3 with a 3.35 ERA. And it is Galaxy Game Day. At 5:30, the Galaxy are in Chicago. This match marks the halfway point of the MLS season. With a win, the Galaxy would have a 3-match win streak for the first time since they hired Greg Vanney as head coach. Not exactly the most consistent of franchises under his tutelage. Fingers crossed. FC Dallas is in town to take on LAFC at 7:30. The Black and Gold haven't allowed a goal in 4 consecutive matches, which is impressive. They've won 6 consecutive matches overall. Angel City FC are at Gotham FC. In other words, LA is at New York. This match takes place at 9:30 a.m. Angel City has not won since April 3rd. But what do you say we get to the news? The Dodgers bullpen welcomed back the corner piece of their bullpen in closer Evan Phillips, and Dave Roberts immediately slotted him back in his old role. Not that he got a chance to close the game last night. Phillips has been gone for almost a month with a right oblique strain. He threw 2 scoreless outings in Rancho Cucamonga. As a result of bringing him back, the Dodgers also designated reliever Eliezer Hernandez for assignment. The Dodgers had acquired him in the offseason from the Mets. Good thing, too, because if he stayed in New York, who knows? Maybe he would have been the poor sap who threw his mitt in the stands and screamed that he plays for the worst team in Major League Baseball. Kind of like the Dodgers are your lifeline for your mental health to improve if you're a ball player, wouldn't you say? Now, this is only part of a rebuild of the pitching staff. We all know it's going to take time. Bobby Miller, for example, scheduled to pitch for Rancho Cucamonga tonight as part of his rehab. Then the poor guy will have to fly to Oklahoma City for a start. My condolences, sir. My condolences. Maybe he returns in mid-June. As for the bullpen, though, both Joe Kelly and Ryan Brazier, there's no set timetable for either one of them. As for non-pitchers, Max Muncy tried running the bases, but there's still something that's tweaking in his right oblique. Muncy was supposed to come off the injured list as soon as Sunday of this week. Not the one that's upcoming, the one we just passed. But Roberts is now saying that Muncy is going to be out for at least a couple of more weeks. And you might be saying, well, that might suck for the lower half of the Dodgers lineup, right? Well, they are improving. Yay. Slots 6 through 9 are now hitting 200. 200 off the interstate. That, by the way, that's an improvement of 13 points from about a month ago. So you probably noticed the sarcasm. Very much a top-heavy lineup. We are the Sidney Sweeney of Major League Baseball. Boom, bang, nothing. ESPN is reporting that New Orleans is going to defer taking the Lakers' first round pick in the upcoming NBA draft. They have until 9 tonight to make that official. The pick is the last of the 3 first round picks that the Lakers sent to the Pelicans in order to acquire Anthony Davis. New Orleans had the option to either take the pick this year or next. If they had taken the pick this year, it would have been the 17th overall pick. The thing is, next year's draft is slotted to be much stronger than the one that we're about to have. So 17th next year, theoretically, if the Lakers wound up in the same position, is apparently deeper in talent than this time around. And yesterday we were talking about LeBron James likely opting out of his contract, trying to leverage the Lakers and all that. Now, according to CBSSports.com, there are 3 variations of a max contract. When a player in the NBA says, oh, he's eligible for the max, we always assume it's one option, and no, that's not true. It's 3. The first thing to know is all of them are 3-year deals, although it's highly unlikely that James's career is going to last for 3 more years. It depends on what LeBron James is looking for. If, for example, he wants the biggest bag, then the biggest payday comes for James to opt into his contract and then extend on that. Possibly also the Lakers could use a third team to acquire more salary cap space by sending that theoretical team a player to get more space under the salary cap in LA. The total of that contract would be $164 million over 3 years. However, and again, as you can kind of tell, talking about contracts gets a little wonky. James could not sign that contract until August. If he wants the biggest bag, in theory though, he loses leverage on the Lakers. If he opts out, he could have more leverage on the Lakers, for example, by forcing them to draft his own son. If James opts out, he will not get as much money. Obviously, the Lakers would still want to keep him. And then the drama of opting out, again, leading him to having pull. The question then for James is, how much do you lose? Considering LeBron James is worth about $1 billion, he would only lose about $3 million by opting out. Trying to force the Lakers to take his kid, or force the Lakers to do something else, and then signing the extension. There are some bloggers out there who are assuming that LeBron James is going to say to hell with it and go to a brand new team. If LeBron James straight up leaves for a new team, the max is $157 million, which means he loses $7 million. Look, is it possible? Yeah. But everything I've been reading says James loves living in Los Angeles. Now, there's a fourth option that some people are also throwing out there online. What if LeBron opts out and cuts the Lakers some slack and gives them a team-friendly deal? That's not going to happen. It's not. LeBron James has taken the max every single year since 2015. So the idea of a hometown discount so they can get a third superstar? No, not happening. The LA Galaxy are not a flawless team. But to their credit, the front office, the new front office, which has been pretty much in place for almost a year. The Galaxy fired team president Chris Klein about a year ago. They've been trying to rebuild their front office since. To their credit, the front office has built a very threatening offensive team. And in addition to that, they have locked down younger talent instead of chasing aging stars, for the most part. We'll get to that in a moment. The latest person that they locked up is literally the centerpiece of the entire team, midfielder Riqui Puig, who has signed an extension through 2027. Puig has been considered an MVP candidate in Major League Soccer since the Galaxy acquired him from world powerhouse FC Barcelona. Now, the primary reason he hasn't won an MVP is patently obvious. The Galaxy's former front office surrounded him with some severely mediocre players. It's very hard to understate or overstate. It's very hard to state, period. I'm stuttering here. Just how important Riqui Puig is to the Galaxy. He leads Major League Soccer in touches, passes completed, distance covered in possession, and the number of times he's been fouled. In other words, the reason that the LA Galaxy have scored the third most goals in the league is because the offense runs entirely through him. Whenever the Galaxy defense gets the ball, their first thought is get the ball to Riqui Puig, and then let Puig decide how the offense is going to run. In basketball terms, Riqui Puig is an elite playmaking guard. He's contributed to almost half of their goals. Now, in the bigger picture, the core of the Galaxy offense, Puig and wingers Joseph Paintsill and Gabriel Peck, they are all under contract through at least 2027. So this is an offense that you don't want to say is set in stone, but you do want to say they're going to be good, quick, and effective for quite a few years. Now, you might have noticed that I talked about wingers and a midfielder. If you're a soccer fan, you're like, well, what about the striker? And Dejan Joveljic for LA Galaxy has been quite effective. He has put the ball in the net. But today is one of soccer's most glorious days. The Champions League final over in Europe between Germany's Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid of Spain. The Athletic is reporting that the Galaxy are in pursuit of Dortmund legend, striker Marco Reus. Now, this would sort of revert back to the Galaxy's old way of doing things, signing a European superstar at the tail end of their career, because the dude is 35. The thing is, though, while there's been a lot of reporting on the idea of Reus joining the Galaxy, I wouldn't put a lot of money on it. Charlotte FC hold Reus's so-called discovery rights, which means that they have the priority to sign him. They're first on the list. So at this point, I have no reason to expect the guy leaving Germany and wearing a Galaxy kit in like a month or so. UCLA basketball was already dealing with the loss of Bill Walton, and yet another former player passed away. The national press was talking about Drew Gordon, who died in a car crash in Portland at the age of 33, about how he's going to be remembered as the brother of NBA champion Aaron Gordon. And that's one way to look at him. He's a former Bruin, though. Drew played a couple of years at UCLA before transferring to New Mexico. He also played a little bit with the Philadelphia 76ers. Most of his pro career was overseas. So Drew Gordon left us at the age of 33. File this under the heading, no crap we already knew. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN said that the next priorities for the Clippers are Paul George and James Harden. Wow, I would have never knew. Thanks. Well done, Adrian. Thanks for keeping us in the know. I love how on social media, whenever Wojnarowski breaks a story, it's called a Woj bomb. This isn't even a Woj bottle rocket. This is like Woj running around waving a sparkler on July 4th. This is nothing. Everybody already knew that the Clippers' priorities were going to be Paul George and James Harden. What the hell was that? A couple of days ago, I lit into this online report from an SEC ass-kissing website that claimed USC was trying to back out of a game against LSU that's going to take place 3 months from now. Oh, the Trojans are scared, crap like that. I responded by saying that the Trojans' reputation is built in big part by not scheduling cupcakes. Right? Here's one little thing that you might not have known. USC is the only program in major college football to have never scheduled an FCS school. the lower level colleges. Former athletic director Mike Bone allegedly once tried to schedule UC Davis, and when the fan base heard, they lost their minds. They know. Trojans fans, you may be a Bruins fan, but Trojans fans aren't stupid when it comes to football. They did not want to have any part of that. And they should not want to have any part of that. It's trash when you're a major college program deciding to play some little Division II, Division III school. It's trash. And Bone replaced UC Davis with San Jose State. Now, San Jose State, they're not exactly world beaters, but at least they could put up some semblance of a fight. The LA Kings have hired Newell Brown to complete their coaching staff. He was an assistant in Anaheim for 3 years, and for that, my condolences. The dude has been a coach in the NHL for 27 years, and he has worked for 5 other teams. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Despite last night's loss, are you feeling a little bit more optimistic about the Dodgers pitching staff starting to get a little healthier? Which option do you believe LeBron James should take among getting the so-called max deal? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Porta El Queso production. Take care.